Welcome back to the show. Joining us now is writer and broadcaster Esther Krakue. Esther, welcome back. Now, look, there's been just so much furore this week about Princess Catherine and that photo. Look, we know she's taking time to recover from her surgery. No doubt this has just been some extra stress. Do we know when she's likely to return to royal duties?
So when the Princess of Wales announced that she was taking some time off to recover from abdominal surgery back in January, I believe it was January on the 16th, she said that according to medical advice, she would likely only be back in her royal duties after Easter, and I suspect that still remains to be the case. Now, this story has completely blown up for reasons that remain unknown to me. This is just a woman that did some editing on a picture, and suddenly the world has lost its mind, it seems. But there is a lesson here, and the lesson to be learned here is the fact that the royals and the royal PR machine is extremely fragile, and they're always kind of walking this tightrope of being accessible but not too accessible to the public. I mentioned before, I think Kate felt the need to release that picture because of these rumors that were circulating about where she really is she actually recovering from surgery. A group of people online were using this as a way to speculate that she had a BBL and that she was going to come out looking like a Kardashian. Some people used this to link to the fact that no one ever landed on the moon. I mean, it was just ludicrous. But at the end of the day, the royal family have to be very careful about not making themselves too accessible to the public, or they might risk going down the route of Harry and Meghan, who have effectively lost a lot of their public appeal because they just reveal too much, they talk too much. The royal family, at the end of the day, whether you're a monarchist or not, has a public role to play. They're effectively professional ambassadors. And to that end, they obviously have to have a public profile, but they have to stay on task. They're a media machine, just by their very existence, and so anything that's linked to them, any sort of controversy or anything that can be newsworthy, is likely to blow up. And unfortunately, Kate had to experience this while she's recovering from surgery, and I actually wish she didn't feel the need or the pressure to release some sort of photo to effectively calm down the public, which arguably had the opposite effect.
And I'm not sure that pressure has necessarily subsided, because there's been a couple of snippets in the media over the last couple of days about a pending royal announcement or an update. Is this just speculation, or is there actually something in the pipeline?
So every year, the Waleses release a picture for their children's birthday. So it's a kind of a tradition that they've cultivated within their family. And Prince Louis's birthday is coming up. We're expected to see a sort of family picture within that same tradition. Again, this could be kind of a redo for the Waleses after the controversy of their Mother's Day photo. Who knows? But we're hearing that Princess Catherine could be actually more open about her medical intervention in the coming days, alongside this picture that we expect to be released. So, the Waleses are going to be a lot more careful about what the kind of information they release to the public. Again, this is clearly a blunder on their side, because they've been in the royal family as working royals for a number of years now. They're highly experienced. They know how quickly the media storm can generate. So this seemed quite uncharacteristic of them. But again, you can forgive them for the innocent mistake of trying their hands at Adobe Photoshop.
And there was an interesting piece in the Times today about the palace having learned some harsh lessons over the last couple of weeks, which I think they absolutely might, and how they might address them going forward. You'd think some sort of protocol would have to be put in place to avoid this happening again.
Of course, but this is, again, uncharted territory. It's not every day that a relatively healthy woman in her early 40s undergoes abdominal surgery. Now, obviously, her father-in-law, King Charles, was very open about his cancer diagnosis and his prostate surgery, and many charities and many groups across the UK and across the world, congratulated him for that, because it really drew awareness to a very common issue that many elderly men face. And in contrast, unfortunately, this happened around at the same time. In contrast, you had Princess Catherine, who's perfectly entitled to not reveal details of her medical diagnosis, but she did reveal that she had abdominal surgery and was going to be effectively MIA for 2.5, 3 months. And unfortunately, I think that broke the public in a way that no one ever anticipated. The palace is going to be more careful moving forward. I think again the issue here is straddling that fine line between making yourself available to the public but not too available. And unfortunately, the closest example you can draw to that are the Sussexes, the faux royals across the pond. I mean, they kind of went for the American style. Let's reveal everything. Let's talk about our feelings, and they didn't really endear themselves to the public because, in as much as they saw their grievances as valid, most people just saw the sheen wear off. You had just a couple of really rich, wealthy, um, literally a prince and princess whinging about their lot in life, and many people couldn't identify with that. They were talking about things that were clearly close to their hearts, like climate change, but then were taking a private jet every chance that they got. And so, in many ways, the Waleses have had to learn from the Sussexes' blunders, and there are many of them, and not go down the same route. Now, do you completely shut yourself off? No, because once you open Pandora's box and you make yourself available to the public to a certain extent, you have to maintain it. And so the Waleses have had to really kind of figure out what is the best way to do that. And unfortunately, this is one instance where it didn't go too well for them.